But let's also move on to some other updates that we're tracking. And the big story, of course, is coming in as the government has now raised privacy concerns, asking smartphone makers to mandatorily pre-install Sanchar Saathi app on all smartphone devices. They say this move aims to fight cyber crimes, prevent misuse of telecom resources. Union Minister Scindia says it is up to the user to keep or delete this application, which has come as a major clarification as far as this issue is concerned. But the mention of the app certainly has sparked various reactions from opposition leaders, calling it dictatorship move and unconstitutional.
अगर आप चाहते हो तो इसको आप एक्टिवेट करो, अगर आप नहीं चाहते तो इसे एक्टिवेट मत करो। सुनिए ना, अगर आप इसको अपने फोन पे रखना चाहते हो तो रखो, अगर आप इसको डिलीट करना चाहते हो तो डिलीट करो। ये कस्टमर प्रोटेक्शन की बात है और हर भ्रम को मैं तोड़ने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं। आपको डिलीट करना है तो आप डिलीट कर दोगे आप, पर हर व्यक्ति को देश में नहीं मालूम कि मुझे फ्रॉड से प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए, मुझे चोरी से प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए ये ऐप है। तो हर व्यक्ति तक ये ऐप पहुंचाना हमारी जिम्मेदारी है।
संचार साथी
अभी बोलेंगे नहीं मैम,
सर संचार साथी
अभी बोलेंगे नहीं। थैंक यू। हाउस में बोलेंगे, डिबेट में बोलेंगे।
Common sense tells me that these apps can be useful provided they are voluntary. Everybody who needs them should be able to download them. Making anything compulsory in a democracy is troubling. But I need to look a little more as to what the logic is of the government. In fact, the government should explain all this to the public instead of just passing an order that the media reports. I think we need to have a discussion where the government explains what is their thinking. For me, I think an app that actually helps us to locate our phones or whatever, all of that is not a bad idea, provided it is voluntary. So if I feel the need for something, I can download that app. If I don't feel the need for it, I shouldn't have to download it. That's true for all of us. It's common sense. Why it is being made compulsory, that the government has to explain.
Well, initially there was a sense that this app is going to be not only mandatory and pre-installed on all handsets, but that you couldn't delete it. But at least that clarification has come in from the minister concerned that the app is going to be pre-loaded, but not the users will have an option to delete it. Let's go across to my colleague Pallavi also with this. Pallavi, do you think this clarification could maybe ease some of the concerns that opposition leaders are raising as well?
Yes, in an ideal situation, yes, because opposition's opposition to this app hinged on the fact that they thought that this was completely mandatory, which the minister has clarified. So what is mandatory? Well, it is mandatory on the manufacturers to ensure that all the mobile handsets does have the provision for this app. And then it is up to the consumer. So what is not mandatory is that you and I don't necessarily have to use this app. We don't even need to download it. You know, if you try to download this app, it offers an OTP. If you put in the OTP is when you can get to use the app. You don't put in an OTP, so it's very, very clear, Shivani, you don't even need to use the app. So the minister has made it very, very clear that the only reason we wanted this app to become popular and people use it is one, for national security reasons, tracing down terror acts in case of terror acts. And second, if your phones are lost, they are being used in sense of violation of cyber security, you know, for money being swindled. And therefore, it's beneficial to the consumers to download the app.
My colleagues Arunima and Aman are also joining us. Arunima, the government says this is for cyber security protection plus tracking lost phones. Just give our viewers information on exactly what all this app can do and how is this beneficial?
See, first and foremost was the concern about the IMEI number. The IMEI number is a unique number on every handset, which is like an identity, number for your handset. If it is being misused, if it is lost, or you've been subjected to any kind of hacking, the IMEI number can be utilized by authorities to track down as to who is the one responsible for aggrieving you. So what was happening increasingly was that this unique IMEI number was getting tampered with. There were digital arrest victims who said that, even though they complained after digital arrest and after they were scammed, police or the I4C, which is the concerned wing of the MHA dealing with cyber security, they could not track down as to who the scamsters were. So in order to provide protection to those who were suffering from digital arrest or from cyber scam, this was one more step that was being initiated by the government, asking the manufacturers to put this app and wanting a compliance report within 120 days. But there was a lot of concern whether in the garb of security you were violating privacy which has been upheld by the Supreme Court too as one of the fundamental rights that citizens have. So now I think Jyotiraditya Scindia, the minister concerned, has clarified that while it is imperative and it is a measure that we are taking in interest of providing safety and security to the victims, if your concerns about privacy are deeper than the measures that the government is offering, then you are free to not avail this. I think a comparison that I can make is about Digi Yatra. Digi Yatra too, there were concerns about privacy, but because of the smoothness with which you could move in and out of airports with Digi Yatra app, I think a lot of consumers opted for it. A similar parallel I can use in this case as well.
Yes, and also I think Digi Yatra made it very explicit that after a period of time, all data is removed from that their servers. But Aman is also joining us. Aman, the charges coming in from the opposition is that this is dictatorship, this is Pegasus Plus. So a little bit of firefighting that the government will have to do to dispel these notions.
Well, yes, and I think the opposition was also coming because of the kind of the way it was that it is mandatorily every operator will have to install it in a new phone mandatorily. You can't delete the app, and if you already are an existing user, you must update it, and operators have to give a compliance report within 90 days, 120 days. So it looked like a very compulsory kind of an order, and that is what the opposition was objecting to. And we had Shashi Tharoor there give their very good bite, I think very interesting bite, where he said, these apps, maybe it's very useful, to save you from cyber fraud. Maybe it's very useful if your phone gets lost so that it is not misused in any other terror crime or any other cyber crime. But it should be up to the consumer. It should be the consumer's right whether if he wants to download this app for his own safety or whether he thinks his privacy is more important, her privacy is more important, and the person does not download that app. So I think Jyotiraditya Scindia, settling many people's nerves today by giving that bite, saying if you want to delete it, go ahead and delete it. If you want to not use it, don't use it. But we are only doing it for the privacy, for the security of the citizens, also the security of the country. It's up to you. If you want to do that, if you think privacy is more important, so be it.
Yeah, absolutely. That clarification certainly has taken away some of the sting of the criticism that was coming in. I do thank all of my colleagues for joining us. Let's